Hello, good people, and welcome back to the show. This is Zip here, and today we are going to dive deep into FLR. And this video is going to be probably longer, but we're going to go through everything that I possibly can fit into this video and ways that we can earn passive income, ways we can earn income that are less risky to the more riskier ones, but you will make the decision in the end what fits you. But this is a macro view, if you would, an overview of FLR, and just to give you the best information that I possibly can. There is so much within this environment, and FLR is absolutely one of the most exciting places to be. And you'll see that by the time we get through all this. Again, nothing I say is financial advice. Please take all of this information, look at this content over and over, and then do your own research. But the point to us having these assets and being invested in this environment is long-term to make passive income. And we'll get into that here in a minute, but we're going to talk about in this video, again, what the difference is between delegation, staking, what F assets mean to us, meaning XRP, FBTC, FDoge if you have it, and all the stuff that's going to be coming in the future, and what the different variables are and how to do that. And I will explain some of the differences and the nuances of what you're seeing as compared to maybe if you have the Bifrost wallet. You'll be seeing a lot of this within MetaMask today. But the large picture is you cannot make money in this world without taking some risk, in my opinion. So hopefully by the end of this content, you'll get a firm understanding of that. Again, thank you to all the subscribers, the likes, the comments. Please get this information out because we're trying to build a community that just resonates together. And I'm trying to give you the latest and greatest that I possibly can. And with that, let's dive into FLR and absolutely what is going on here and the capability for you to earn more money off of your assets. Let's take a quick listen to Hugo and what he has to say a few weeks ago about FLR, and that'll give you an overview of where we're going in this video.
You can, if you're part of the FLR community already, you can bridge stables from Ethereum to FLR to take part in the DeFi ecosystem. You could delegate your FLR token to a data provider. You should already be doing that. Or you could stake to a data provider. So we have two systems, a delegation system on the C chain and a staking system on the P chain. Slightly different. One is to secure the validator itself and one is to secure the data. But essentially the data provider is also the validator. So that's, you can do that. You can play with perps dexes, you can play with, rain dex, you can play with all the various dexes that are on FLR. You can borrow, you can lend your dollars that you've bridged from Stargate onto FLR in a lending protocol. And very soon, in fact, later today at least, if you are using Songbird, which is our canary network, you'll be able to bridge.
Again, FLR is an all-in-one environment that has many, many different implementations and scenarios to where you can earn income. Some risky, some not. But FLR, basically, they want to be able to connect and bridge everything. And that is where they are going in the future. FLR is a layer one capability that is a governance environment. So what's that mean from the get-go? It's a governance system, meaning that many of us, many of you, may have gotten a free FLR drop years and years ago. Okay, so because you are an XRP holder, if you're not familiar with that, you would have gotten an airdrop and you would have had this FLR. What do you do with the FLR or the Songbird token after you have it? And that's what we want to get into. But again, remember, this is a governance system, and I will go over some of that and what that means to you. That means you have an active say in what gets approved and what doesn't get approved through the voting mechanisms through both networks. So let's break this down and let me slow down a little bit. And let's talk first about Songbird. What exactly is Songbird? So Songbird is what we call the canary network for FLR. Basically, just think of Songbird as a test environment. It's an environment in which they use to test new capabilities and protocols that are coming out. Now with that, testing in that environment, various things go on in there. They're going to be testing the Web3 capability, which are the D apps that are going on, and then new capability as if what they're testing now with the F assets. But that's the Songbird environment. Just think of it as a testing environment. However, it is a live environment, and you can lose your assets in that environment as well. So your Songbird token, SGB token, can be lost. So again, just a live testing environment. But basically, that is what FLR, the Songbird network, is in a whole. If you want to find out more about that, go out to the FLR.network/Songbird environment, and there's a bunch of information out there, and you can dive as deep as you want to. I can't go too far into it, but again, it's just a test network. What is the native token on the Songbird network? It is SGB. So now we're going to go into some of the nuances, okay? And I'm going to be flipping back and forth between the Songbird network and the FLR network. But for now, we're on the Songbird network. And everything that you need to do basically is done through the portal.flare.network. Now, I am showing you all this today, and I am connected through my MetaMask account on the Songbird network. Many of us, my larger holdings are held in Bifrost, and I didn't want to show Bifrost on here today because of it's the majority of where I do my work, and a lot of my holdings are there, but you will get the idea and the perspective. It's the exact same thing. Bifrost is absolutely a phenomenal wallet to use within the FLR network, and the recommended wallet that I would recommend you using. So again, that's Bifrost. And, you know, you can get that from going to the App Store, whether you have an iPhone or Android, go out there and download the Bifrost wallet. But everything that we go over today is the same within that environment. It's just a matter of clicking a button. So again, remember we were talking about the governance of said networks, both for Songbird and FLR. So as an owner of Songbird or FLR, you have the capability to go in there and vote on different activities that are being passed. As we see here, this is a add custom feeds to FTSO, which is active right now. If you were inside of your wallet, you would basically go inside of your wallet here, and you would look at this proposed description, and you would decide on how you wanted to vote on it. You can see I've already voted in here with my limited amount of Songbird that I had in here, but you just go to the vote section, you click vote for, and your vote would then count. If you vote against it, you can vote against it. And at the end of the day, like in any other governance system, the most votes win. And again, this is both done for Songbird and FLR. You can see there, I can step out and then connect my wallet to FLR, and it shows also that same FLR proposal that is in. And you go in there, and again, you just look at it and select vote or not vote. But again, that's the governance piece part of that is part of this environment. That gives you an active stake in how to participate in the environment. Now, more importantly, going back to FLR and what most people want to talk about, how do you earn money within the FLR environment? So for Songbird, there's basically what you can do is you can delegate your Songbird. So inside your Bifrost wallet, or if you want to use MetaMask, that is fine. And as an extra capability, you can import your Bifrost wallet into MetaMask. So it has a desktop view, so it makes management a little bit easier if you don't want to do it on your phone, if you didn't know that. And there's another video on that if you're interested in that. But the bottom line is here, you can see I've got about 2 Songbird tokens. So if I wanted to delegate those so that I can earn rewards through each epoch that's going on, all you have to do is go into wrap. I'm going to hit max here. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring up the confirmation in my MetaMask. I'm going to confirm that that confirmation, you would do the same exact thing inside your Bifrost wallet. And now I have wrapped my Songbird token. Now, the problem with this is you have to be careful because you're going to have to incur fees and such. Now, I wrapped all of my Songbird. So when if I went to go unwrap it right now, I may not have enough Songbird. You want to make sure you have enough Songbird in here to manage the fees. That is a cautionary note. And that goes for both Flare and the Flare token and the Songbird token. I got into a pickle a while back to where I didn't have enough in here because I was, doing different actions, and each action costs a little bit of a fee. So just keep in mind, you want to make sure you always have a good significant balance in there. Okay, now I have wrapped Songbird in here, and I'm going to delegate that. And it's going to ask me, well, how much of my Songbird do I want to delegate to the data provider? And you can break this up. You can have two different delegations going at one time if you wish. In this instance, I'm going to go ahead and do all of them. And you're probably asking yourself, well, how do I know who to delegate to get the most bang for the buck? Well, the way you can do that is you go to the Flare Systems Explorers. Again, Songbird Systems Explorer, just Google it and it will come up, and it's going to come up with this page here. We can go to the Providers Environment tab. In a minute, it's going to load and it's going to show us all of the FTSOs. In this instance, I want to see the highest payouts, and that's what these delegation rates are here. And you can see that just flipped. And it's going to show you the highest to the lowest reward amounts. And this flips around each epoch and it changes all the time. So you do have to be a little bit active in here, or you could set it and forget it and just pick a delegator, or FTSO. So in this instance, Eternity. So if I go back here, I'm going to hit submit. I'm going to pick a data provider, and I can actually look them up. And you can see Eternity came up. I'm going to delegate all 100% of my holdings here, and I'm going to hit submit. It's going to come up with a confirmation. I'm going to hit confirm, and now I am delegated. So what goes on now is basically I have delegated to this FTSO, and every epoch I'm going to earn rewards. This is a very passive way to earn money, no risk, and you just sit there and collect awards. Again, and it is the same exact thing for Flare. For your Flare token, you can do the same thing. I can wrap my Flare. Going to come up with the transaction. I'm going to confirm the transaction. You see it cost me about 0.0054 Flare. That's why it's important to keep a little bit of unwrapped Flare or Songbird in your wallet. It's going to wait for the network confirmation here, and it's going to come back and tell me that I now have wrapped my Flare. And the same thing as this is working through its process here. How do you know who the Flare providers, the FTSOs are? There is the Flare Systems Explorer.flare.network. Pretty easy. I go to providers up here because I want to get the highest delegation awards possible. I'm going to flip this here to go from highest to lowest, and it's going to refresh here in a minute. And in this instance, I can see Sensei node currently is getting the highest delegation award rates. And again, this changes all the time. Now I can go back to my protocol. I can see I have wrapped Flare here. I am now going to delegate said Flare. And in this instance, let's just split it up because you can have two FTSOs at the same time. I'm going to hit submit. So we're going to pick the first provider. So who was that? Sensei node. There they are. That'll be 50%. And then I come back here and let's go with Burst FTSO with that earn rate. I go back to my wallet. We got Sentinode. We're going to look up burst here. Going to select it, hit submit. It's going to come up with the transaction. Again, costing me less than a penny. Going to hit confirm. And now I have delegated to the FTSO on Flare with my Flare token as well. And now I just earn delegation points and I just get money coming in basically passively. Now, you do have to go in. I think it's a maximum of 8 epochs. If you don't go in and collect your rewards, you can lose them. However, there is a way you can sign up on Bifrost to have this done automatically for a small fee, and you can just set it and forget it and just keep earning money if you're not worried about going in and manually doing it. If you like to manually collect your rewards, you just go in here at the end of each epoch. You will see this pending rewards here will come up. It'll have a claim button there. You'll claim it. You'll sign the contract for it, and you're off to the races earning delegation awards from FTSO providers. Very easy, no nonsense, but that's a very easy way within Flare to make passive income. Again, your money sitting around doing nothing, your token sitting around doing nothing is worthless. I mean, you obviously, as the network increases and the price goes up, it's worth something, but you might as well get free income while it's just sitting there. I hope this is useful because this is where the world of finance is going as this system changes, and what I talk about in all the other videos with our assets. So that's delegation, ladies and gentlemen, and I showed it for both Flare and Songbird. Remember, just go to the Songbird Systems Explorer for the Canary Net. If you want to see who the FTSOs are, that's an easy way to do it. And then go to the Flare Systems Explorer for your Flare token to see the FTSO providers and what the rewards rates are. Now, other ways to earn income within the Flare environment. Alternatively, instead of delegating, you can stake. Now, staking within Flare, and I'm going to give you a couple options here. And I'm going to show you the option that I use. It's a little higher risk, but I'm going to show you exactly why here in a little bit, why I do it, because the amount of rewards that you can earn is absolutely phenomenal. And again, nothing comes without risk. Do what you feel comfortable doing. If you're a low risk individual, probably just traditional staking and or delegation is the easy button. Now, to stake on the Flare network, it is a little bit of a more difficult issue because there's some things that you need to do. And I just pulled it up in Grok to make it easy. But the bottom line, there are some requirements that you have to do in order to stake your Flare. And there's a couple things that you need to do. But within the Bifrost wallet, it's very easy. So instead of wrapping your Flare, you would just stake it. And there's a staking button right there on the inside of the wallet. And you'll see here, there's a staking button as well. It's not going to show anything because I don't have any available funds because I wrapped all of my Flare. Now, in order, and there are also requirements for staking. In order to stake on the Flare network, you have to have a minimum of 50,000 Flare. Okay, so that's step one as far as your decision matrix and what you will need to do. Other things that you need to do is you need to move it from the C chain, basically the traditional Flare environment, to the P chain. But that's fairly easy enough to do that from P to C. It's just done within the wallet itself. It walks you right through there. And then you'd be able to claim the same awards. You still get the airdrops. You still get to vote in the governance if you're staking. And that's, again, just a little bit more work to do for some more benefit and earned value on your Flare. I think it's about an 8% difference if you're staking versus just delegating. But again, up to you. I'm giving you all of the different capabilities that you can use with FLR. So again, delegation versus staking, keep those two things in mind. And those are the easiest ways to make money within FLR. Now, more exciting, they are now bringing F assets on board. And we know that F assets are coming. And what are F assets? Basically, F assets are bridging of assets that don't have smart contracts currently, so that we can use those assets within the FLR environment to make additional income. So right now it's FXRP, and we know the FXRP has been launched, and they've been working on that within the Songbird network only, because remember, the Songbird network is our test network. And this is where we're going to get into some of that conversation of what that means. And that's why this video is a little bit longer. So I hope you're hanging on, because this is really the most exciting part of how to start earning money with our XRP. Is there some risk involved when you get into the liquidity pools and such? Yes, but I'm going to show you some easy ways to where maybe there is no risk involved. Okay, so the F asset environment. How do we get into this environment? So basically, if you go to the fasset.oracle-daemon.com SGB Mint environment, it'll bring you to this homepage right here. Remember, this is only on Songbird currently, the test network, but it is quickly getting ready and approaching to where it will be on mainnet on the FLR network. So basically, you can take XRP and you can mint it, and you can make more FXRP and then turn it back into XRP if you want to. If you don't want to mess with your XRP, I'm going to show you a way, really the easy play here, to make additional money off of your Songbird token, and in the future your FLR token, just by collateralizing and putting your assets into a pool. But as we look here, this thing has been hard to get into. Right now on the Songbird network, to mint XRP, you need a minimum of 100 XRP to do that. And again, all it's going to do, it's going to mint it through a trustless system. There's nothing you need to do except for click a button, and it's going to mint your XRP and put it into a pool so that you can earn additional rewards within that pool. So you can see here, if we go to mint XRP, basically I would just hit manage connection here. And if I had XRP in this wallet, I would just mint it to FXRP and then put it within a pool, and it would show the amount of assets that I have and the rewards that I would be redeeming in that pool environment. Now, many of us don't want to mess with our XRP because we know what the future holds for that. So maybe you're not willing to take that risk yet. That's okay. There's still a way for you to make money in this F asset environment. So like I said, right now it's Songbird. So we can go into this button here where it says providing collateral, and you can provide collateral. And you can look through here to all the different vault agents and vaults that are running, and you can deposit your Songbird into that vault. So as an example, let's just hit this Oracle one, and I could put in Songbird if I had it, but I've already done that. As you can see, I am currently invested in, I've got a few Songbird tokens invested in the Atlas TSO vault. And you can go in here and we can look at Atlas and see what's going on in here. Total portfolio value so far is $84,000 with a minting fee of $2. Total collateral locked up, again, 84,000 approximately. Amount of FXRP mints that have happened, 206. And this is the part that's important down here. So as you're looking at this, you can see there's no more minting capability in here at all. There's 0 lots left. So as you go into the different vaults, you will see what's been minted, and how many mints are available. Like I said, this thing has been locked up because there's a lot of excitement behind it and capability to earn money. When we're looking at these vault collaterals, the vault collateral basically are tokens in the vault that the issuer, the Atlas in this case, is using USDX as collateral against this pool. Important, because this is where the risk comes in. You do have to pay a little bit of attention to this environment. It's not a set it and forget it environment like the delegation was, because what happens is, if you look at these numbers here, these change depending on what the appreciation or depreciation of the pool and the assets inside of that pool is. And now's the time to start becoming familiar with this, ladies and gentlemen, because you can make and earn a lot of extra income in this environment. But there, again, it is not without risk. So again, do your own research. But right now we know we're at safety. So $1.30 is the safety CR in that. And so it's at 190, 130. We're good. We start minting again if it got up to about 10. But again, these things change all the time. Where we want to be careful of is if it gets to this liquidation CR, because that means we're going to have a problem, and we have a chance at that point to lose some of your assets that you may have locked up in there. But again, current CR for SGB itself, it's at 3.44. So we're in good shape here. But again, all you do is you collateralize. If we go back to the pool here, I could put more money in, or I could decide to withdraw what I have in there. Again, right now, I've only got about 3 Songbird inside of this environment. But, you know, this is my test on my Bifrost wallet. I basically, my portfolio, again, I took 85% of my Songbird tokens, and I'm throwing them in here because I'm willing to lose it to make the money. And that's part of the game, but you have to make that decision. And at which point, after I earn, basically what's going to happen here, since I'm collateralizing this pool environment, I will earn FXRP. You can see here I have 0.01 cent earned currently of FXRP, and I'll keep on earning that. And at some point, after a certain period of time, it's locked for a certain period of time, I'll be able to withdraw FXRP and then flip it back to XRP. And that's why I say this is an easy way. Why not earn more XRP for free using another asset that is just sitting there doing nothing, which is my Songbird asset? Again, I know there is a lot here I'm going over, but you get in here and you start playing with this, and I promise you within about an hour and a half, 2 hours, you'll understand everything and what's going on. This is just a high level purview to be able to collateralize your SGB and make FXRP, which I can then turn into XRP. And that's the deal. So again, that's collateralization within the F asset environment currently on the Songbird network. Go out here, start to look at this information and decide for yourself what you want to do. There's also, if you go out to dev.flare.network, there's a phenomenal explanation out here about minting, about collateral, exactly what we were just talking about with SGB, the 2 primary types of collateral and how it is done. I'm not going to read through all this because you need to have some skin in the game, and I want you to go out there and read this. And if you feel comfortable, I jump in that game, absolutely, because it is a phenomenal way to make additional passive income. All right, now we had talked about staking, and we're going to look at Scepter right now. And this is another phenomenal way to earn money on your FLR, your FLR, your FLR token. And I'm going to show you how, but let's listen to this video real quick. And then we're going to show you all the different ways that you possibly could get in and make some additional income.
Staking on Scepter is now available at all times, but split into 2 different periods. In this video, we will cover each and explain why they are set in place. Scepter's staking process now consists of 2 phases, a free 7-day period, followed by a 23-day buy-in period. Staking is split like this to prevent bad actors from exploiting the nature of flare drops, the biggest contributors to the Scepter pool, at the expense of our community. As you may know, flare drops are distributed once a month to all flare and wrapped flare holders. The amount of flare distributed during these drops is calculated based on 3 random snapshots taken during the 23 days that precede a flare drop. Due to this randomness, there's no way to accurately predict how much each user is contributing to the Scepter pool when they stake during this period. This was the reason why staking was closed during this calculation period. While fair, this system wasn't practical. A user looking to stake on Scepter could have to wait up to 23 days before being able to do it. The introduction of buy-in staking solves this issue, and everyone is now able to stake at all times. During the 7 days following a flare drop, staking is free. For the next 23 days, aka the calculation period, staking is subject to a fee. This fee is based on the rewards accrued during the 23-day snapshot period, which includes staking rewards and a flare drop, and was calculated by our team to ensure fairness for everyone staked. 100% of this buy-in fee is added to the pool and won't cause the minting of new S-Flare. This means that, like rewards and flare drops, the fee will cause the price of S-Flare versus Flare to go up. This fee evens the field for everyone regardless of when they decide to stake. With this update, Scepter is more accessible and fair than ever before. Users will no longer be restricted by the time they want to stake, nor will they be subject to gaming. Let us know what you think in the comments.
I know what I know, and I know what I think. I like it, and I've liked it for a little bit here of time. So if you go to the app scepter.fi, basically you would do this through your Bifrost wallet, and you will connect your wallet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Estimated 47% back on your flare. You're not going to earn that traditionally, okay? Is there some risk here? Absolutely, there always is, but you can't make money without taking some risks in this world. So what I do is I take about 50% and I roll the die and I throw it in here, and I haven't lost yet. It's been a very, very good environment. Read about this buy-in fee. That's basically what they were just explaining. And read about, you can read about it here. Basically, you just say, I understand, you connect your wallet, but look at the reward rates. And what it's going to do is going to take your flare. Now, remember, you won't be able to delegate in this instance, but you can take it and you can flip it, and it will turn it into S-Flare, okay? So all it's doing is bridging it, and it's just like wrapping your flare. In this instance, this would be Scepter Flare, and it's going to turn it into that. And it's going to begin staking it through periods of time, okay, epochs. And basically, once you set all this up, it's in there. You, at any given point, you can unstake that if you want to unstake it. If you become worried or whatever the case may be, again, there's a 14.5 cooldown period. Will start after 14.5 days. You have 2 days to redeem your wrapped flare, after which the wrapped flare is restaked and you can claim your S-Flare. So again, just some particular things here. Pay attention. Make sure you read everything and you know what's going on inside the environment to not get yourself in trouble. But a very, very easy way to earn income and rewards. And again, here's a snapshot of the rewards that have been going on at the different periods of time. And yes, very, very exciting. Now, here's an additional play. You can then, because this is liquid staking, ladies and gentlemen, you can then take that S-Flare that you have that's being staked and is locked on Scepter, and you can take that S-Flare and you can go to traditionally what used to be called Flare Finance. It's now called Enosis. You can go to Enosis and you can take that and you can also put it into a liquidity pool here to earn what? An additional 30% 30% on, or 0.30, yeah, 30%, and earn abscess on it. What is abscess? Abscess is another token within the Gnosis environment, and look at the price of that thing. Again, ladies and gentlemen, so many different ways to earn money. If you're not familiar with the Gnosis, there's multiple ways to take your flare as well and earn additional abscess and other DeFi and capability pools in there. But this is all the liquidity pools in here. Again, this is a little bit higher risk, but well worth it if you pay attention. I'm invested in many of these pools in here. But again, you're just going to take your S flare, you're going to take a percentage of your flare, you're going to stick it into this liquidity pool, and you're going to get abscess out of it. Again, just wanted to put that out there. So many different ways to make the play. If you just want to stake it and earn the, the rewards with Scepter, that's fine as well. It's really up to you and how you want to do it. But I would definitely look into this opportunity because it's an easy way. And this is where the financial system is going in the future. It's what I put out in all my other videos. This is the change. This is an opportunity for you to learn early on within the Songbird network with the F assets, the staking protocols, everything that is going on within the great world of FLR. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got something out of this. I know this is a lot of information and this was a longer video, but I hope you held on to it. You guys have been asking for it and I've given it to you in the best of my capability. Again, dig in, start to educate yourselves. This is a very high level purview of the content in this video. I can't get into the specifics because it would take me hours and hours. But if you have questions, concerns, or anything like that, drop them in the comments. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, Zip is out.